Hello everyone, my name is Brooke and welcome back to my channel. Today we're talking about something that I am personally learning a lot about and have become very passionate about over the last couple of months, and it is romanticizing your life and living your life like you are the main character. Basically, this just means living your life to the fullest, living every moment to the fullest, and picking out the little moments in life and making everything just seem a little bit happier, looking for a little bit more positivity in your everyday life. Now, just saying romanticize your life and become the main character means different things to different people, and I think that is so wonderful and so okay because each and every single one of us is unique in our own way and living different lives and have different goals. I also think it's so important that we interpret these phrases differently because they're going to mean something different to each of us because each of us has different life experiences. But I think the overall concept that we can all agree on is that romanticizing your life and becoming the main character also means that you are taking charge of your life. You're making things happen for you instead of sitting back and watching them happen. You are living your life to the fullest instead of sitting and scrolling on TikTok or watching TV and Netflix all day. It's so important not to let life opportunities pass you by. A lot of times opportunities only come once in a lifetime, and if you let them pass by, you're never going to know that life that you could have lived had you have taken that opportunity. If you want to do something, it is so important that you go for it, you try it, you experiment. If you fail, that is totally okay, but it's so important to go and try new things and live your life with no regrets. It doesn't mean going out there being the main character, disregarding others' feelings, doing stuff because you want to, and kind of just like wreaking havoc and being a huge... But it does mean just appreciating the small moments. You only get one life on this planet, so why would you spend it scrolling on the internet or people pleasing or just doing things to make everyone else happy and yourself miserable? It is so important to take charge of your own life and reach out and get what you want. So today I've come up with a list of a couple things that you can implement into your life to help you become the main character. These are really simple, easy things that I think are really great ways to help you focus on the smaller things in life and also achieving those goals that you want to achieve. So the very first step that you want to do when you are taking charge of your life and becoming your own main character is set some goals for your life. What the heck do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish? These do not have to be crazy 5-year plan goals, but it may be like, I want to travel to this place eventually, or I do want this career, or I would like to hit the beach at least once this summer. Like, it can be very small things, it can be very big things. Just write down a list of things you want to do or you want to accomplish. And these should be things that excite you, things that make you want to wake up in the morning, things that make you excited to live your life. And writing down and or verbalizing these goals or putting them on a mood board or however you want to display them, even if it is just in like a notebook or something, is so important also in manifestation and the law of attraction, which I have talked about in other videos in the past. But basically, if you put that energy out into the universe and signal to the universe, hey, I want this, and send it all those positive energy vibes, that positive energy is going to come right back to you and help manifest those things in your life. Also, just looking at those goals every single day, if you do put them on your wall or somewhere where you do go every single day, will also just keep you inspired and remind you of them and remind you what you're working towards. Next tip is to start saying yes, and I very much want to talk about this one because I think it's also important to start saying no. This is like a double-edged sword depending on the situation. Start saying yes comes in when your friends ask you to hang out, when opportunities come knocking your way, when there's a fun adventure on the horizon. For example, this would never happen, but let's say one of my friends texts me and says, hey, let's go watch the sunrise, and I decide, no, I want to sleep in. No, say yes. Those moments when you say yes are the moments where you're going to make a ton of memories. You're not going to regret those moments. Those moments are the times when things happen. Those are the stories you are going to tell your kids when you're older. When you say yes, absolutely anything is possible. But also, you need to learn to say no. And this comes in when what you're being asked to do is interfering with you living your best life. Obviously, we all have tasks we don't want to do that we have to do. However, if someone is pushing too much on you, for example, if your boss is asking you to work like way too much overtime or something, you can say no. If someone is asking too much of you that it is stressing you out and costing you your mental and or physical health, please say no. Like, learn to say no in those situations. But if there is an adventure or opportunity or something on the horizon, just say yes to more things. Say yes to going out more. Say yes to enjoying life a little bit more outside the walls of your house. Just say yes a little bit more. Next up is to get off social media. This is one I'm really struggling with, but I think it's so important we become aware of how much mindless scrolling we are doing, especially with TikTok now, with those 15-second to a minute-long videos. We can spend hours scrolling on TikTok and not even realize it, and time has just gone like that, and what have you done? Nothing but sit on your couch. And I think it's so important we become conscious of this, and I'm not saying stop scrolling altogether, but maybe limit yourself, maybe set a timer or something. Let's say you spend 2 hours a day scrolling, which is actually a very little amount when people start looking at their analytics, but if you spend 2 hours a day scrolling, think of how many things you could be getting done in those 2 hours, and how many steps you could be taking towards your goals. And even if you take that 2 hours of scrolling and only shrink it down to an hour and a half, that's still an extra half hour of your day every single day that you could be putting time towards something that you want to achieve, doing something that you want to do, whether it's exploring a new hobby, reading a book, working harder towards that dream job or something, or even honestly just like playing with your dog for a half hour in the backyard. Just thinking about it, are you going to remember and be happier with that half hour of scrolling, or that fun half hour activity you decided to do, or that half hour that built up to many half hours that made this goal happen for you? When you're hanging out with friends, try phone free time. Maybe everyone puts their phones in a bucket, be present with each other, enjoy each other's company. I have literally, and I'm sure you have too, literally gone over to a friend's house and we just sit on the couch and scroll on our phones together. It's just a waste of time when you could have been spending this time making memories, but instead you're just sitting there on the internet. Next up is to stop blaming external factors. Now, obviously there are external factors that contribute to every single situation. Everything is cause and effect. And when you stop blaming external factors, this also does not mean blaming yourself either. But the world is not out to get you, I promise. The world and the universe is there to help you and help you achieve your goals. The woe is me lifestyle is not going to make you happy. With a mindset of blaming external factors, you're going to start looking for external factors to blame instead of looking for the true root of a problem. Or honestly, there might not even be a problem and your brain is just going to start looking for one through external factors. Bad things happen. That is life, and not every day is going to be perfect, let me tell you. Like, some days are absolutely going to suck, for sure. But one day does not equal your life. 1 week does not equal your life. 1 month or even 1 year does not equal your life. If you have a bad hour, second, minute, month, year, that's okay, that's fine, but it will get better. And when something bad happens, it's important that you deal with it. Don't dwell on it. If something bad happened, that absolutely sucks, and I am so sorry. And it's okay to feel bad about it, sad about it, mad about it, whichever, but it's also important not to let those feelings dwell inside of you. It is so important to become at peace with those feelings and let yourself move on. Next up is to be happy in your own company, and this is also really important because when you are by yourself is when you find yourself the most. It's so important to be able to find yourself without any factors around you influencing what you are doing, whether that is what TV shows you like, what hobbies you may find interesting. Just learning to love yourself is also another huge one. Being comfortable spending time with yourself is so important in learning what you like, what you don't like, and honestly who you are, and defining your own identity, what you want out of life, because you have your own individual thoughts and feelings, and it's extremely hard to identify who you are if you're constantly with other people. So being alone is so important, and you can take this to whatever extent you want, whether it just be spending time at home alone, maybe going shopping alone, going to a restaurant alone if you're comfortable with that, going to a movie. All those things are amazing ways to step out of your comfort zone and be comfortable with yourself and learn to love yourself and be comfortable in your own company a lot more. There aren't always going to be people around to do things with you, so it's so important to be able to still live your life to the fullest, even if maybe someone isn't around to enjoy it with you. Next up is traveling, going places, being outside. Don't get me wrong, this is a little hard right now, I know. Would I like to take a plane to Thailand and go hang out in an elephant sanctuary tomorrow? absolutely. But obviously I can't do that right now, and even once this whole pandemic is over, I'm still not going to be able to do that because I can't afford that. But that doesn't mean there can't still be things that I do that lead to adventure in my life. There is so much beauty in the world and in nature, and I guarantee there are so many things around you that are worth exploring. And this could be within your own state, province, or even within your own city. There's national parks or provincial parks everywhere. It is so important to get in tune with nature and find the simpler things in life and just come at peace with yourself. There is nothing more special to me than going through like local hiking trails and forests, or sitting by one of the beaches that isn't too far away from me. Those things are really valuable to me, but there are always adventures to be had, and it's so important to go out and find them. I really recommend researching your area, seeing what's around, because there are things I'm sure you have no idea even exist around you. And this just doesn't have to be outdoor stuff too. I mean, there's trails, you could go to a local farmer's market, you could even go to like an outlet mall for a day, and it's something new and exciting and fresh in your life. Just doing something different, out of the ordinary, exploring, so important. And literally, for the best example, me, my dad, and our dog Charlie went for a walk in a forest like super close to our house, like literally 5 minutes away recently, and we saw a woodpecker, which was so cool. And I've gone in that forest before and seen deer like super close up, and other animals are always just running around there, and it's so cool to see them, but literally like right up close to us, a woodpecker. It was so cool. And there's just little things like that. There's always something to explore. And when you are exploring and living your life, you can also take more pictures. This is a great way to capture those memories and truly remember them. And I am not talking those Instagram worthy perfect pose photos. No, just take photos of you and your friends having a great time. You can even buy a film camera if you want to do this, just like a little disposable one, or get an actual camera or Polaroids or whatever you want to do, and just have fun taking photos with your friends. And the final tip that I wanted to talk about today is gratitude lists. And this is a great thing to do at the end of the day or right in the morning each day to reflect on the day that has just passed and remember, once again, all those little things. Grab a journal and write down the things that made you happy every single day. And these do not have to be big things. These can be as big or as little as you want them to be. This can be a step toward a goal you just achieved. Maybe you just had a really good iced coffee today, or maybe you saw something cool on a walk with your dog, or whatever you want it to be. These do not have to be big things. These can be as little or big as you want. The point is that you're appreciating things that happen. You're looking back on the day with a positive light, and this is going to change your mindset immensely. Because if something bad did happen in that day, there's always also some positivity in the day. So if you take a look at those positive things, it will help give you a little bit more of a positive mindset to the past, which will also influence the positive mindset you go forward with in the future. I looked at the clock at 11:11.